Hi YouTube. Well, the bad news is I've broken all my promises to myself about trying to economize on cosmetic purchases because I went out today in search of Chanel's fall collection, which is released in the UK just recently, and I knew I wanted a couple of items. I wanted to look at all of it really. I have to say I've been completely suckered in by their advertising campaign. They have a really pretty model who, let's face it, none of us are ever going to look like, or certainly I'm not. She's wearing a kind of gorgeous tweedy Chanel sheath dress and has smoky eyes with a kind of coral lip cheek combo going on and gorgeous dark nails, and she just looks so chic and put together that it really made me look forward to autumn and trying new makeup. So I'm sorry about the light, which has suddenly gone really dark in here. It's just clouded over. It's been quite a nice day up till now. But anyway, along I went. I was first of all thwarted when it's Bank Holiday Monday here, and when I went to the kind of upmarket pharmacy near my workplace where I often buy Chanel, and they had emailed me that the items I was interested in were in, turned out not to be open. But then I remembered there's what was a pop-up store in Covent Garden, which is nearby, and in fact that store has now become permanent, the sales assistant was telling me. So Londoners might want to take note that the Chanel store that was a temporary store in the run-up to Christmas last year is now permanent, and that's great because it's just Chanel makeup, and although it's not a huge shop and it can get a bit crowded, they have got very good stocks and lots of demonstration samples to play with. So also the sales assistant that I got today was not at all pushy but knowledgeable and helpful, so that's worth knowing. So the first thing I was going to look at, obviously, was nail polish, because I love nail polish. They've brought out 3 new colours. The sales assistant was telling me only one of them is limited edition, and it's this one, Alchemy, which I knew I was going to look at. It's a slightly softer take on Peridot, which was, the famous kind of green metallic that sold out a lot last year, but I think it's now permanent. I mean, certainly you can get hold of it in lots of places. There they are side by side, and you can see that Peridot in the bottle has much more of a golden, petrol-y glow. Alchemy is more sort of silvered. And on the swatches, that's even more apparent. This here is Alchemy, and up here is Peridot. Not a brilliant swatch, to be fair, because I think it might just be one coat. But I find Peridot, although I love it, love it, love it in the bottle, I don't find it a very wearable shade for me as a middle-aged woman. So I was in two minds about Alchemy because it is similar, but it looked a bit more wearable. And having swatched it there, as you see, I really like the look of it. I can't wait till next weekend. I can't put it on at the moment because it's not really work appropriate, but yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing that. So I got Alchemy. Then the other two are actually going to be in the permanent collection. There's one called Elixir, which I didn't get, which is a pinky red. It's quite similar to last year's spring April limited edition, which I like very much. And I will say that on trying it in the shop, it went on very well, but it was just too similar to April. I might go back and get it. It was a bit pinkier than April's, a kind of bluier red pink, but they're very, very similar. Beautiful creams. But I, in the end, just went for Mysterious, which is a dark olive khaki green. Really, really sophisticated, I think. It's this one here, and very dark. I like dark polishes. I haven't really got anything to like it in my collection. Some people say it's similar to Vertigo from last year. I really can't see it because Vertigo is very much a grey, purple, dark, and mysterious, definitely green. But lovely shade, very sophisticated, very autumnal, and I'm really looking forward to trying that one. So 2 nail polishes down, I then had read a lot about the 2 single eyeshadows, Hazard and Gris Gris. I have never bought a single Chanel eyeshadow before now because I think they're outrageously priced. This little single costs £22 in the UK, and you know you could buy several palettes in other makes for that. But it is a beautiful, complex, glistening taupe, which I'd seen demonstrated, read a lot about. I went along a bit more prepared than I usually am because I knew a lot of people said it was very close to Satin Taupe by MAC, and that in turn is very close, I think, to a much cheaper L'Oreal single shadow that I have called, what is it, Prune something or other, Prune Metal Plum. So I took my Metal Plum along to try it out and really see whether it was worth buying this additional one. And as you see, in the end, I figured it was. This is not going to look all that different on the eye. And if you are not a huge taupe lover, or, you know, obviously economizing, then you really don't need Gris Gris if you've got Satin Taupe by MAC. They are different, but they're not different enough that they're going to look widely different on the eye. I mean, look, you can barely see that on here, but it is in fact the most beautiful browny glistening taupe. Satin Taupe by MAC is just that bit darker, and it's got a more purple grey rather than true goldeny brown to the taupe. So they are different, and I like this Gris Gris even more than Satin Taupe, and it's a limited edition. And so I decided to treat myself, and I am pleased with it. But, I mean, honestly, you could get away with MAC Satin Taupe, or even cheaper, not nearly as nice a texture, but very, very similar to Satin Taupe. These two are almost exact dupes for each other. Metal Prune by L'Oreal. But I was suckered into the individual. Funnily enough, the nearest shade to this of any is another Chanel. When I got home, I remembered my holiday quad from last year, and there's a taupe in there, this one here, and to be honest, again, it's a little more leaning towards the purple bluey tone rather than the goldeny brown tone of taupe. But it's very, very similar. So if you've got that quad, again, maybe you won't want Gris Gris, but maybe you will. Then I knew, because I was looking at these taupe eyes, I was thinking about getting the eyeliner, which is a beautiful cocky olive, but I had with me my MAC Forever Green pencil. I tried them together and they were so similar that I couldn't justify shelling out for the Chanel one. I did shell out for their mascara. I need a new mascara anyway, although not necessarily an expensive one. This is Khaki Bronze, limited edition, volume de Chanel. Haven't had one of their volume ones before. Just thought I'd try it. I don't know how that will work out. Slightly strange brush. And then, lo and behold, the item that is attracting a lot of attention on the blogs, the cream blushes. This is the one I ended up getting. Not what I intended. I was going to look at the apricot one. I'm not, to be honest, up till now, a fan of cream blushes. I've got very few. I've got a Marc Jacobs one from years ago, which is a bit too frosty. And I've got a couple of the Bobbi Brown blush pots. And I find them sticky and difficult to blend, although a lot of people say, cream blushes much better for particularly older, drier skin like mine. I do like NARS the multiples, which I guess are close-ish to a hybrid cream blush highlighter. But I will say the texture of these, very different from Bobbi Brown. Highly pigmented, but blend very well when you work them in. And we tried applying with a duo fibre brush the various colours, and in the end this was the one I liked the best on me. Even though it's this deep alarming shade, it blends out very nicely. I'll let you know more about this as I experiment, because I mean, she applied it for me. It's holding very well. And here's the interesting thing. Later on, because I hadn't got a lipstick, I used some of this on my lips and it works like a lip stain. I haven't heard anyone else on YouTube saying that, but it does. It's slightly drying, but if you've got a gloss to put over it, it's absolutely fine. And it stays there like, I don't know what, much better than lipstick. So kind of dual usage there. And then, lo and behold, the Holy Grail at the Covent Garden shop, Les Beige, which are sold out except in the darker shades everywhere I've been in London. But they had a full stock, all the 5 colours that are available in the UK. I went for number 30. Too early to say yet how I like it, because I'm only just starting to play around with it. But I was delighted to get it. And I would have got the Kabuki brush as well, except they were out of that. So if anyone knows any stockists in London who've got the Kabuki brush, I'd be very happy to know in the comments below. So I got some samples as well, but so I should, having spent all that. So big blowout. I'm going to try and be a good girl now until Christmas, and I'll let you know in my favourites how I get on with these. Bye for now.